Good morning, everybody. It might not be morning when you're watching this, but it's morning right now when I'm making it, so I'm going to say good morning. So for this first day of AMI stuff, I just wanted y'all to just kind of get introduced to it. We're going to do just some review of things that you've already taken a test over, but you might just need a little bit more practice. So you all should have this PDF. If you have a printer at home, that's fine, you can print it out. If you don't, you can just write the questions down on paper and then work them out and then turn them into the Google Classroom like it tells you to. But what I'm going to do today, just in case you need a little bit more review, is I'm going to work one of each type of problem and go through that with y'all, so you don't have to watch this whole video if you already feel confident doing the problems. But if you get to one you don't know what to do, you can fast forward in the video, find that question, and see if this helps you at all. And the next couple videos that we'll do on Wednesday and Friday, you will need to watch them because that's new stuff. But what we're doing today is review, so you can watch as much or as little of this as you need to. So let me go ahead and get my pens. And I hope everybody's doing fine at their house. You're practicing your social distancing and not going out places, so that everybody stays safe. So our first one, we're just going to multiply things. When we multiply, we think about, remember, how many x's we have here and how many x's we have here. And when you're multiplying them together with exponents, you're actually just going to add your powers together. So the 2 doesn't have anything else to multiply with, so it just stays a 2. I remember I go in alphabetical order, so I have x squared and x to the 4th, which makes x to the 6th. And then y to the 4th is just by itself. So that's your first question. When you've got the 2 exponents and you're multiplying them together, you add the powers. Alright, next. When you're raising a power to a power, remember this means I have 4 copies of a to the 3rd. So when you have 4 copies of a to the 3rd, you're going to have a to the 12th, because we multiply those together. When you have 4 copies of b squared, that will be b to the 8th. Okay, I'm not going to do this one over here for you, but remember you also have to raise this 4 to the 3rd power, and you can put that in your calculator, 4 to the 3rd. So that is your power to a power. Now we'll go on to dividing. So this is number 5 on your paper. So when we're dividing, we can think about canceling things out, and you cancel 1 for 1, but if you notice here, 3 and 3, those can be simplified and canceled out. Since y to the 3rd, since there's y to the 3rd on top and bottom, it's the exact same number of y's. Those can be canceled out, and all you're left with is x over x squared. So remember, if I was going to write all my x's out, it'd look like that. And I can cancel 1 for 1. So there's 1 left at the bottom, and this is a mistake I saw a lot on the test, that you just jump that up to the top instead of leaving it on the bottom. And if it's on the bottom, you have to put a 1 on the top. Okay, so that's just basic canceling with our variables. Now we'll go on to our negative exponents. Remember, our negative exponents, they're going to move to the other side. So if they're on the bottom, they move to the top. If they're on the top, like number 8, it's going to move to the bottom. So for this one, before I do anything else, I just want to make sure I have no negative exponents. So I'm going to leave my positive ones where they are. Okay, and then my y to the 3rd is going to hop up on top. So now I'm going to look and see, I'll do numbers and then I go alphabetical order just to keep it all organized. So just regular numbers, that 4 is going to stay here. X doesn't have anything else to combine with or cancel, so it's just going to be X there. And then on the top we've got 7 Y. So Y to the 7th will be on the top. Alright, so remember when you're doing your work that you are showing your steps. I don't want you to just jump from this one's not too bad to jump to the answer, but if there are ones that you've got a lot of stuff to do or things you have to switch, do not just write the answer down. You will not get points for that. I want you to show me that you are working these problems all the way out. Alright, number 9 is just like one we did up above, so I'm not going to do that one for you. 8 is like 7, and 10 we just talked about negative exponents moving to the other side, so you could be fine doing those. Alright, so we'll skip to number 11, a power to a power. We've already talked about that, but I threw in some fractions, so I want to make sure everybody's clear on what to do. So when you do a power to a power, just like before, you're going to multiply those numbers together. So if we multiply them, that becomes, and you can do that in the calculator if you want to, or you can do that in your head, it's 2 times 4 thirds. 2 times 4 is 8. and we leave the 3 on the bottom. So x to the 8 thirds. Same thing on number 12. Alright, now we're into our roots, and remember, for our roots it's important for us to know our perfect square, so hopefully you still have that written down in your notes. I think you put that in 6-2. Notes is where you wrote down all of your squares. So if I have 108, I'm going to go through and figure out which perfect square divides into 108. So I'm just going to go through the ones that are smaller than 108. Does 100 divide into it? No. Does 81? No. Does 64? No. Does 49? Does 49? No, 49 doesn't. Does 27? I don't think 27 does. Not 27. 27 is not a perfect square. Jeez Louise. 25 is the perfect square into that? No. 108. Let's check out 108 and 16 maybe? Or am I missing one? Let me see. See, I've got to do this too. Let me check this one out. So 108 divided by 16. Nope. 108 divided by 4. Yep. Oh, I missed one. I skipped 36. See? Happens too. 108 divided by 36. I just skipped that one entirely. So 36 does go into 108. So this ends up being, see, I should have had my list written down, and I would have gotten it. 36 and 3. So 36 times 3 is 108. I just tested my squares in the calculator just like y'all do. And what is the square root of 36? That is 6. And we can't take the square root of 3, so we keep it there. I saw a lot of you mixing these numbers up, not in this particular problem, but problems like this on the test. So always put the perfect square first, so you know that number is going to go in the front. Okay? Same thing with 72, you're going to find your perfect square that's in there. On 15 and 16, we're adding and subtracting square roots when they have the same root already, which is pretty nice. We have negative 2 roots of 5 plus 2 roots of 5. We just say, what is negative 2 plus 2? And that's going to be 0 roots of 5. We don't have to write the roots of 5 to 0 times anything. It's just 0. So I just combine negative 2 plus 2, and that was 0. And you keep the number at the end. Do the same thing on number 16. Okay? We're going to go to the next page. Alright, if you see on 17, they don't have the same number underneath the square root, so we might have to decide what we need to do with this 45. Let's see, 45. Is there a perfect square in 45? I'm just going to go backwards. 36, no. 25, no. 16, no. 9, yeah, 9 goes into 45. So that's 9 and 5. Okay. So square root of 9 is 3. So we still have this 2 in the front, and that's what some people forget to bring the 2 down as well. So we're going to have 2 times 3, which makes 6 roots of 5. We'll bring our 2 roots of 5. 2 root 5 minus 6 root 5, and that's going to be negative 4 root 5. So split it up. Take the square root. If you have a number that's in the front, you'll have to multiply those together. Okay? Alright, now I'm multiplying square roots together. So just multiply the two numbers and inside of your square root, and then see if you have something that you can take out to the front. So 8 times 6 is 48. And is there a perfect square in 48? That's 36. No. 25. No. What about 16? Does 16 go into 48? Yes, it does. So that is the square root of 16 times the square root of 3. And what is the square root of 16? That's 4 root 3. Okay? So let's multiply them together. You do the same thing on number 20. On 21, we are going to distribute twice. Some of y'all like to call it foiling. So I'm going to do negative 2 times negative 4, which makes positive 8. Negative 2 times root 2, which is negative 2 root 2. They're not both in the square root sign, so I can't put them both in the square root sign. You're just going to put them next to each other. And then we're going to move on to our root 2. Root 2 times negative 4 is negative 4 root 2. Then root 2 times root 2 is square root of 4. And the square root of 4 is just a regular 2. So now we can combine. 8 and 2 make 10. And then negative 2 root 2 and negative 4 root 2 make negative 6 root 2. Okay, same thing on number 22. If you can combine at the end, please do that. Oh, just one more thing, if you needed the help on this one, root 2 and root 2, that was root 4. And then the square root of 4 is 2. So I just put a 2 in instead of writing the whole line twice because I was running out of space. Okay? Alright, let's see. I'm going to move this up so we can see the next problem. There we go. Alright, so the next one, we want to get rid of the square root in the denominator. And we just have a square root of 5 down there. We want to get rid of the square root of 5. So for us to do that, we're going to multiply on top and bottom by the square root of 5. I'm going to make it bigger over here so that I have space. 2 over root 5. Okay. So I'm going to multiply by root 5 on top and bottom. And these are not both in the square root sign, so you cannot make that a 10. So you just have to leave it 2 root 5. Then on the bottom is just going to be 5. And that is it on that problem. This one's a little bit different that you're going to have to do by yourself because the 3 is in the square root. So you have to think about what you need to do if they're both in the square root, how you multiply those together. Okay. All right. And now we'll do one where we've got two, we're still rationalizing the denominator, but we have a binomial in the bottom. There's 2 terms. So as you probably recall, I don't know, maybe you don't, it's been a couple days, we're going to multiply on top and bottom by negative 1 plus root 5. So whatever you have on the bottom, you're going to change that sign. So we'll do negative 1 plus root 5. Then we've got to distribute twice. Again, we'll do the top and also the bottom. So negative 5 times negative 1, 5. Negative 5 times root 5, negative 5 root 5. Negative 4 root 2 times negative 1 is positive 4 root 2. And negative 4 root 2 and positive root 5 is negative 4 root 10. And what's nice is none of these will combine together, so that's going to be our numerator. Okay, we'll go ahead and do our denominator. Negative 1 times negative 1 is a positive 1. Negative 1 and root 5 is negative root 5. Negative root 5 and negative 1 is positive root 5. And negative root 5 and positive root 5 together is negative square root of 25, which is just 5. So these go away in the middle. And 1 minus 5, your denominator is going to be negative 4. I just don't have space to rewrite it. So there's your numerator. Your denominator is negative 4. Okay? We're getting very close to the end. And remember, you don't have to watch all of this. You can just fast forward to what you need to see. We are going to switch into radical form. Top is the power. Bottom is the root. You have to find on these on the test. So our root goes on the outside. The inside is our base to the power. Exponential form, we're going the other way. We got our base, we got our power, and our root. Okay? If we are simplifying, we can just think about what this means, or we can put it in the calculator. I don't care what you do. Bottom number is the root, so it's the cubed root of 216. That is 6. And then they said, what is 6 to the first? So we don't have to do anything else, because 6 to the first is just 6. But you can put that in your calculator as well. Right, now we've got 2 things that we're going to raise to the 2/5. So we need to do, what's this, 100,000? So we're going to do 100,000 to the 2/5. And then we're going to multiply these 2 things together. So 10 times, we'll just write it like this. A to the 10 times 2/5. So a to the 2/5, the 5th root of 100,000 is just 10, and then we square it and we get 100. You can put that in the calculator too. But that is 100. And 10 times 2 is 20. And 20 divided by 5 is 4. So 100a to the 4th. You could also multiply those two together in a calculator. And that would be your answer there. So this is a little bit less cumbersome because there's not such a huge number for you to do. And I'm pretty sure that that's all. I don't think I made it 3 pages long. Let me double check. No, I think that's it. So if you have any questions, if you made it to the end of the video, thank you. If you've got some questions, you can post them to the stream where I put this. Or if you want to just send me an email or some kind of message if you don't want to have the whole class to see it, that's fine. I'll respond to that. But try to get this done in the next 2 days so that when Wednesday comes and you get a new assignment, you're not scrambling to get all of this stuff done in one day. Okay? Well, thank you very much, and have a good day.